Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a good week so far. It's pretty early in the week still, obviously, but I usually find if I have a good Monday, it sets a good tone for the rest of the week. So I sincerely hope the rest of you have had a good Monday so far. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at some messages from the Archangel Gabriel Oracle cards. I feel like I know this is a deck of cards that I use quite often, but I do feel that it's quite important to sometimes use the same deck of cards. Reason being, sometimes we can really kind of miss messages that we were supposed to get, and they will often repeat themselves, especially if you use the same deck of cards again. So, this is what I'm going to just pick up on or try to pick up on. If there is anything that needs to be repeated from previous weeks, then we should get the messages loud and clear. Okay, so let's just see what's happening here. You might get really brand new, fresh ones, but Archangel Gabriel is the messenger angel, and even if you don't believe in angels, it's an energy of bringing messages through, which is what we ask for in these weekly readings. Okay, so I'll ask what is most important for us to know right now, and any advice or action or energies we have to kind of be aware of or have our attention drawn to this week. Okay, so what is it that we need to know right now or be aware of? There's the first one just popping out. Mother Mary, the Blessed Mother, is helping you with divine life purpose. Okay, so once again, even if you don't believe in angels, there will be a archetypal energy or a consciousness around you of the different types of angels. For instance, this is the consciousness of or the archetype of a messenger that we use when we're using Archangel Gabriel. And here we have with Mother Mary as well. If you're not necessarily religious, this is either a mothering kind of an energy or something that is a type of guiding energy. And it says here it is helping you with your divine life purpose. Now, for me, I also don't believe we have just one purpose. We might have one purpose at a particular time in our lives, but I don't think that we are just meant to be one thing or do one thing. I feel like we need to be purposeful in every step of our lives, in every aspect of our lives, and in every stage, because we often go through different stages and phases. So I feel like it's important to be purposeful at that particular time. I actually told one of my clients about somebody I saw in a post this week. I don't know if it was on Reddit or where it was. But this gentleman had like 3 jobs in his life, but they were major jobs that he'd really studied for. He had been a medical doctor, he'd been an astronaut, and I can't remember what else he was qualified as. But they were really big deals in terms of the amount of studying and the years that it took to commit to something like that. And I mean, if you just think of a doctor and an astronaut, I mean, those are massive. I can't remember what the third one was, but it was just incredible that somebody could dedicate themselves to being purposeful in so many different ways and having so many different roles and purposes, and that they felt like that's what they needed to do. That's the direction they needed to go in. I mean, if you were already a medical doctor and you felt called to be an astronaut, you might doubt that. And he just didn't doubt it and he went for it and he qualified in all of them. It was quite an incredible story. So I think that that is saying there's an energy around you that's trying to guide you and help you with your divine life purpose, whatever it is that you should be doing right now. We are always being purposeful, even if it's helping an old lady carry her groceries from the store. You're serving a huge purpose that somebody is very grateful for. Okay, so the secret is to be purposeful in everything you do in your life. Okay, let's read that one from the book for you. I like to read oracle cards, as I've said many times, because every deck of oracle cards is different and they're all made with a very specific intention by the creator of that deck of cards. A little bit different to the tarot. Okay, so bearing in mind, Mother Mary doesn't have to be Mother Mary for you. It could be a different archetype. It could be Freya from the Norse pantheon. It could be a number of different people. Okay, or maybe it is a mother figure in your life that's even helping you with something. All right, so it says this card signals the positive healing influence of Mother Mary in your life. She symbolizes purity, devotion, miracles, faith, and care for children. Most likely, you're receiving this card because your life purpose involves helping children, your own or those of others. This can mean parenthood or being a caretaker, teacher, healer, writer, artist, or inventor who helps children. You've also received this to draw you in closer relationship with this energy who blesses the lives of all who call upon her. Mother Mary, like Archangel Gabriel, is non denominational and unconditionally and equally loving to everyone. Call her name, tell her about your feelings, and ask for help with your life purpose, and she'll always be there for you with the sweetest love you've ever felt. Okay, that's interesting that it also says you could have a life purpose that involves helping children or, being a teacher, writer, healer, an artist. You don't even have to directly interact with them to affect their lives. So that's very important as well. Okay, let's see what else we need to know this week. What else do we need to know, please? Whoops. Editor. Okay, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. There are, how many cards in this deck of cards? 44 cards. And this has come up about 3 times in the past couple of months. Okay, your writing or other creative project benefits from outside help and support. I have a couple of clients who are supposed to be writing books and putting things out there and sharing their experience or their keen minds that can tell stories so beautifully. And this is being repeated over and over and over to put your art out there. Maybe you need to write a children's book. Maybe you need to write a book that can help other children that have been through trauma. You can apply that in so many ways when it's talking about being purposeful like this, and that it's saying there is outside help and support. Maybe someone who can help you to kind of read over it or give you some feedback in terms of what you can include in that artwork. I do see it as artwork. So that's very interesting as well. Outside help and support for a creative project. It doesn't necessarily have to be writing either. Okay, but that's quite interesting. This is a repeat card. At least 3 times we've had this. This is why I had to pick this deck of cards, because if you haven't listened to the message is being repeated and it's saying, please get the message. Okay, agent or manager. I was just going to say, when this is mentioning like an editor or something to this effect, it could really be like you could have somebody overseeing the work for you or helping you with something. It says your work expands its reach as you partner with a professional who can help you. That's interesting. And when it says professional, I'm being told that this is not necessarily a professional in the terms of someone who necessarily has a degree or is seen as a professional, as a doctor, a lawyer, financial advisor, that kind of professional, but someone who's an expert in that field and that don't have to have certificates coming out of their ears for them to be a professional and for them to know. So maybe this person has a lot of life experience, okay, or something along those lines that makes them a professional or an expert in a particular area of life. They don't have to have a certificate on the wall to be an expert at something, okay, or to help you to manage a project or get it going in the right direction. They could just share their experience with you or give you a couple of tips they've learned through many, many years of doing something over and over. Okay, sometimes experience is invaluable. So that's what I think this is talking about as well. I don't think I've ever had this card before, so I'm going to read this one from the book as well. Agent or manager, let's see what it says. It's time to get serious about your messenger career, and for that you need some help from professionals. Apparently you've been shy about revealing your work publicly. An agent or manager can bypass this fear for you because he or she will showcase your creative gifts to the world. This person will also give you helpful advice to polish your work so that it's even more successful. Give worries about possible criticism or failure over to the universe, and you'll be relieved of any perfectionism keeping your creative works hidden from the world. Remember that you're not trying to please everyone, just those who resonate with your message. The only way others will receive the blessings from your work is if you make it available to them. an agent or a manager pays for him or herself because it's better to pay a percentage for some sales than no percentage of no sales. You can find names of agents or managers through an internet search, by reading the acknowledgement section of your favorite books, by asking your mentors for referrals, or through the writers group or an art teacher. That's quite an interesting one. Okay, let's see what else we need to know, please. Helping children. Okay, this is basically being shouted out at us that there needs to be helping children. Part of your life purpose involves teaching, guiding, and helping young people. I think that this is vitally important, especially in this day and age. I think our kids have been through a lot, especially in the past 2 years. I think children have been through a lot and just handle a lot more than, my generation, for instance, or the generation before that. Yes, they all have their own stresses and their own challenges, but I do think that today's kids suffer from anxiety and stuff like that a lot more because they feel under pressure and things are uncertain. Like I say, especially in the last 2 years or so, when we have COVID and we've had division of people and there's all these different choices and things happening in the world, they're so uncertain about stuff. And I just think it builds more anxiety, and they do feel very alone. Technology also can help to connect us, but it can help to disconnect us. So they're growing up in a very strange time, and a lot of kids have been also blocked off from society, from socializing, all of these kind of things, because we went into isolation and some kids started learning online. All of this kind of thing happened, and it changed their lifestyle completely, and it also had this really ominous kind of feeling to it. How insecure a child feels when the parents and the adults around them are feeling anxious and insecure, like when we have a pandemic. They rely on us to be steadfast and to be sure of everything. And it took us by surprise and, threw things completely off kilter. So our children they suffer with these kind of things a lot more than we perhaps realize. There's issues with what choice you should make with regards to your gender. There's a lot more options and confusion around. So I think that a lot of us can really help kids in terms of maybe some kind of just guidance. We don't all have to become counselors, but maybe you've been through something when you were younger that you could help someone with. Maybe you could write a book about it. Maybe you just need to write articles, or maybe you need to, start a group that supports these kinds of things, or maybe you have the skills that you can share and volunteer. There's always a way that you can kind of help. You could even start a column that supports kids and lets them write in anonymously about things they need help with. Whatever capacity you can help in, depending on what your vocation is or what you do for a living. Maybe you even change what you do for a living in order to help kids. Maybe you can foster or teach part-time, volunteering, anything that you can contribute with that will help them and heal them. There's so many different ways that people can do this. Think of what your talents are and think how you can apply it to helping children. Even if you, like I say, if you're not a people person, if you're not a person who likes to necessarily engage face to face with children, if you don't feel like that's your strongest point, then maybe you just need to write a book that you put out there, because you are maybe unable to connect on that level because of trauma in your own life. Whatever the case is, there's something that you can contribute. You need to find what it is. Okay, I think we can pick one last card. If Spirit decides we have one last card. Is there anything else, please? There we go. New project. Okay. All right. For some of you, you'll have something in mind already. For others, I think this is going to be something that they might be thinking about doing, haven't yet embarked on or taken the first step with, but this is like a newborn baby. Your actions are growing your idea into reality. Okay, so I feel like in many cases, this is going to be something where you're thinking about, where you've jotted a few things down, but you haven't really done anything major about it. Okay, so you need to take a few steps in that direction. Let's see what this one says in the book. New project. This card comes to you as validation that you are on the right path with your new project. Heaven can see that you have some fears, which are triggering procrastination and second thoughts within you. Give your fears up to heaven and move forward one step at a time. Be in the present moment with your excitement about this project and do not allow yourself to worry about the future. Archangel Gabriel is also guiding you to avoid compromising or watering down your project to fit your imaginings about what consumers want. That is so important. I'm going to read that again. Archangel Gabriel is also guiding you to avoid compromising or watering down your project to fit your imaginings about what consumers want. Be fully invested in the power of your own vision and allow your work to be a reflection of your inner truth. Okay, I think that's a beautiful note to end this reading on, and I wish you all a wonderful week. Take care and lots of love.